All right, what is up, guys? I'm really just gonna go through this slate. Got my rough draft. Me and Tim went over a few plays. Wow, 20 seconds in, it already kicked me out of the stream. That's not good. Let me get this back up. All right, there we go. Yeah, so basically, all I'm gonna do is just cap this how I always do. I get a lot of DMs asking how I choose my plays. So I'll kind of go over that, show how I crunch the numbers. And yeah, it's really messy in here. Been a long day. It's late. Probably nobody's awake right now. I don't blame you. Just gonna run through this real quick and get in and get out. And also, I got another screen in here, so I'm testing that out and a new camera. So good excuse to try these out tonight. All right, so let me pull this up. First play I'm looking at is actually not a World Cup qualifier play. Well, it is, but it's for the U21. And how I'm going to do this is I use a few different kind of applications to go through these numbers. Pretty much everybody knows Flash Score. The best part about Flash Score, in my opinion, is actually the previews. If you go and read previews, if they have a preview for a matchup, go read it. You don't even have to read the whole thing. Go to the very bottom, read the hot stat. Whatever they have for the hot stat is usually just very, very solid. Yeah, so that's my advice. I really like Flash Score. I use AI Score a lot. The mobile app is definitely better than the website, in my opinion. But I actually have this Finland game that I'm going to go over first pulled up. And what I really like about AI Score, if you're on the app, you can click on it. It will show you the timing of, well, basically it's the flow chart of the entire game. But also, as you can see here, on this side over here, I didn't mean to do that. Over here, it has all the halftime splits, and you can filter it. You can do these are Finland's home games. They've only played two, but you can go down. You can do head to head. I love seeing the first half splits. I love that. Easiest way to do that. I also go to SofaScore pretty often. I like the hot stats that they have on here as well, and I like being able to just kind of scroll through it like this. You can do that on Flash Score as well. But I really like these first half loser, first to concede. I think these are very useful. Definitely not completely reliable. I mean, every game is different. Don't just use those. And lastly, this is my favorite website. Nobody knows about this website. I've showed a few people. PPS uses it now, or he's used it for I showed him this probably a year ago. He's been using it for a long time. I actually paid for this. This is the only website I will ever pay for. This website it's incredible. So I clicked on this. We're gonna go over this Finland game first. Let me pull the lineup. Finland U21 versus Estonia U21 tomorrow. It's their Euro qualification. Finland is going to beat the dog shit out of Estonia. So I'm pulling up. Go back to my draft over here. What I wrote down was kind of briefly going through it. I liked -2. I thought it was better play than first half. So I'm going to go through these numbers, kind of check it out. So what I'm going to do first is I'm going to go to this website, and this is kind of tricky. I never touched U21. Actually, I don't think I've ever posted a play for U21, but I've actually been tracking this tournament. What I like about this, let me zoom in a little bit, expected goals. Now, these are kind of tricky because when we go to the World Cup qualifiers, which we're about to get into, the expected goals for and expected goals against, you have to be careful because some of them, this website will count friendlies for those, and it's kind of BS to me, so I don't really pay attention to that. What this website is best for, in my opinion, card props, corner props, and live bets. Like these numbers that they have are awesome. You have to make sure that you know which games it's including. Like you can see at the top here, last 10 stats for Finland U21 and Estonia U21. I don't know any players on these teams. So I don't know like how often these players rotate out and whatnot. So got to be very careful. I'm really only going to pay attention to their recent games, and I'm going to use AI score to see the dates on these. Like really all I care about is October. I really just care about these 3 games. That's it. It's pretty much how I'm going to do this. Obviously, you can see Estonia just gets their shit rocked. Let's go back 15 games. Yeah, they have 1 draw, 2 draws in their last 15 games. Oh, and 1 win. They suck. They have not covered a +2 spread except versus Serbia U21 all the way back in 2020. Finland should just blow them out tomorrow. I'm just going to play this. I don't really know much about this game. I can't tell you any players in this team, but I've been keeping up with this tournament. I think this is a good spot. The other game, there's one more game tomorrow. Netherlands versus Gibraltar. Let me see if I have this pulled up. Actually, I'm going to pull this up on SofaScore real quick. This is actually hilarious. If I can find it. Gibraltar, if I can find the standings, like it's actually hilarious. Bear with me while I get this pulled up. Here we go. All right, the standings. Gibraltar has been outscored 0-21 in 5 games. Netherlands is outscoring people 13-3. This is hilarious. They haven't kept a clean sheet in 17 games. They've conceded in 10 straight games. They've lost 9 of 10 straight first half. Netherlands is going to absolutely roll them. The last 2 times they played, they won 6-0, 5-0. There's probably not going to be a lineup for this game at all. I just think it's kind of funny to see that. But yeah, I am going to play Finland -2. And the reason I'm not going to play first half, I'm not even going to parlay first half. Because when I pulled this up on AI score earlier, you just kind of see, okay, so Finland's last 5 games. Like that's really all I'm going to look at because, again, I don't really know these players. They did beat Estonia 1-0 in the first half. The spread on the first half is -0.75. Finland has only scored in 2 first halves in their last 5 games. They play Croatia, who I'm going to assume is very good. Azerbaijan, who I'm going to assume is mediocre. And Norway, who is actually good. I do know that. But yeah, Estonia, they suck. Look at it. Just look at these first half splits. They've lost every single first half. Yeah, I'm done going over this game. I am going to play that for 1 unit. I'm going to go ahead and update this draft real quick. Probably shouldn't have started with that game. Anyways, let's get into it. Let's get into the real games here. World Cup qualifiers, 2 notes that I wrote down. This is just a draft. All I'm doing is me and Tim went over a few plays. I'm going to crunch these numbers and see if these picks are worth playing or if I find something else worth playing. We will see. So Scotland, they need to take 1 point tomorrow against Denmark. For the second place standings, I believe. They need to get a point out of this game. Denmark, they have 27 points. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, I'm pretty sure they're 9-0. They have the most points of anybody. Italy and Switzerland are tied for first place. Both of them should win tomorrow. Italy has the tiebreaker, but both of these teams really do need to win. So those are really the only 2 notes. Other than that, there's kind of some crappy games that a lot of these games are meaningless. So I'm going to be tread very carefully with these. So let's get into it. Israel versus Faroe Islands. Israel's a team that was very hot for a little bit, but they have trouble in the second half. They have been conceding, and they have failed to cover, I'm pretty sure, in every single game. Even against they played Moldova or Andorra. Let me get this pulled back up. We're going to start on SofaScore, actually. They even conceded at the very end of the game to blow the cover. I tried to play them twice, and they screwed me over both times. But they have very interesting first half splits. Did I really not save this game? Or am I just blind? All right, here we go. Yeah, so Israel, as you can see, they just lost 4-2 against Austria. they conceded. They were -2 or -1.5 against Moldova. Moldova scored at the buzzer to blow Israel's cover. But as you can see, Israel's got some really good splits. What I'm going to filter this by actually is just this league. All I care about is the not the European Championship, World Cup qualifiers. And I'll pull it back all the way. These are all the games they played. They have scored and they got blown out by Denmark. They didn't score in that first half. Other than that, they have scored in every first half except the 2 games they played against Denmark. They have been playing pretty well, in my opinion. They've been able to score, but they've been very leaky on the back end. And as you can see here, tomorrow playing Faroe Islands, who really didn't make much noise at all. Their lineups have been very confusing because they have a lot of good players that haven't been playing. They haven't really been scoring at all. They actually, for the first team to score against Denmark, somehow, some way, they scored last game against Denmark for absolutely no reason in garbage time. But yeah, Israel, they beat them 4-0 the first time they played, 2-0 at halftime. Israel is by far the better team. I'm not sure if Olsen is going to play for the Faroe Islands. I need to talk to Casper. He has actually been going to those practices in the Faroe Islands. So good to have him. We've got a little bit of inside info on them. But yeah, Israel should roll this game. They're still playing for third place, which really doesn't mean anything. But we saw Slovakia and Slovenia today both gunning for that third place. So I do like this. I think Israel should roll. Let me pull up the lines real quick, and then we're going to pull this up on Footy Stats. And what I wrote down earlier was first half -0.75 and the over, because I do think Faroe Islands could score tomorrow. And the over has actually moved up a little bit. I think it was -128 for 2.75. It's -140 now. Let's see what Faroe Islands team total is. Ooh. Plus 113. Interesting. Yeah, I think there's a decent chance that both teams score in this game. Again, this is a game I'm going to have to tread very lightly on, but we'll pull it up on here real quick. 1.44 home form for Israel out of 3. That's decent. Faroe Islands, they kind of suck just in general. So let me pull this up real quick, and I'll show you how I go through these to see if I can find value somewhere, and then I'll show you guys a couple of things. Over 2.5, it's hitting 75% combined games for these teams, 55% both teams to score. Corners averaging 5.9. That is horrible. 3.1 cards is a little bit lower than normal. And we can see here, Faroe Islands actually are expecting more goals than Israel. There is no way. If that is true, that is unbelievable. They're actually averaging 1.16 expected goals for, and they've only scored 5 goals. That is horrible. Israel has 20 goals, and they're expecting less goals a game, apparently. So, very interesting. First half, like I was talking about earlier, Israel has scored in 70% of the first halves. They got shut out twice by Denmark. Faroe Islands only scored in 20% of those first halves. Faroe Islands conceding 2.2 goals. Actually, both these teams are conceding 2 goals a game. Like I said, leaky defenses. I think Israel probably scores 3 goals in this game, and I think it's very likely Faroe Islands score. That's how I feel about this game. Both teams are scoring over 2.5. It'll give you some numbers on this, but again, the sample size for these World Cup qualifiers is very small. What this website is very useful for is when you get really deep into seasons, like for example, Italy right now. You can use this website for Italy right now, and it would be very, very helpful because you have a large enough sample size. Both teams to score for Israel at home, 70%, averaging 55%. I don't know how I feel about that. I definitely like first half over 0.5 tomorrow. Sorry, I'm getting kind of sick. Israel definitely should score in the first half. As far as corners, I might actually take corners under. I'll pull up the chart. I had it pulled up yesterday, but the corners for Israel are absolutely horrible. They're getting out cornered pretty much by everybody, if I'm not mistaken. I'll pull it up right here. This is the corners for every single team playing. This is what I've been using. It's been very helpful. You can see at this top here, at the far left or far right, you have the average. You have the matches played right here. Percent at the over 9.5, 7.5, all of that has hit. And as you can see, I took Serbia over 9.5 today. They were hitting at 75%, but the kicker on that was I should have done a write-up for that play, actually. But Serbia is the number 2 away corner team, and Portugal is the number 3 home corner team. It just lined up perfectly, and so that's why I played it today. Let me scroll down. Let's find Israel. Faroe Islands, over 9.5 corners, is only hitting 33% of their matches. That's pretty bad. They're averaging 8 a game. And go down. Where the heck is Israel? There it is, 22%. Only 7.89 corners. So I got the line pulled up here. And some of these games won't even have corner props yet. Yeah, the under 9.5 corners is minus 145. I think that's a fair line. I won't touch that right now because usually these corner lines move in favor of the over. And so there's a good chance if you hold on till tomorrow, these lines will actually be flipped. And if they do flip, I will definitely play the under. But yeah, that's an interesting look. And what I like to do, I'll keep scrolling down. Corners per match. I mean, this website has every stat you can ever think of. It's awesome, but you have to tread carefully and make sure you know where these numbers are actually coming from. So these are just the matches that they played in the World Cup qualifiers. Total corners. Israel is earning 2.2 corners at home. Faroe Islands are earning 3.7 corners on the road. That is horrible. First half over 4 is hit in 0% of Israel's games. That is, wow. That is very surprising. Yeah, Israel has conceded over 3.5 corners, 90% of games. Faroe Islands have only done so in 40%. So then I'm going to go back, look over here, see what the spread is at. And there's a lot of value on the Faroe Islands corner spread tomorrow. Plus 3.5, minus 122. And what I will do now, go up here, open link in new tab, click on World Cup qualifiers. I'll go to the corners. And here we are. On the right side, it has the total number of corners for each match they played. And yeah, Faroe Islands actually outcornered them 7-2 when they played earlier in the season. At home, Israel, they're not going to cover this minus 3.5 corner spread. That is absolutely insane. So I'm definitely going to make a play on this. So let me keep going through these numbers real quick. I will go back and look at Nations League. It's kind of the other most recent thing they've done. Slovakia is a very good corner-heavy team. I actually played a corner spread on them today. So that is kind of impressive that they covered that, and they also did against the Czech Republic. But this is all the way back in 2020. But that is really interesting. I cannot believe that. And then I'll go over here. I'll check out the card props. Really need the home and away splits for these bad boys. I'm not really seeing anything that I would like to take here. And some of these games don't even have card props out yet. Yeah, like this one doesn't. I am 100,000% going to play Faroe Islands corner spread in this matchup. Absolutely. And let's click on their split. So we'll go to corners for them. Ooh, this is where it gets dicey. Scotland is a very good corner team. Denmark, they don't really concede corners, but they don't really get corners either. I don't really know much about Austria corners. Yeah, this is kind of an interesting spot here because it's two teams that really don't take corners very often. But let's check the road splits. They did out corner Scotland in these qualifier matchups and Moldova on the road. They covered a plus 3.5 spread against Denmark. They did not against Austria. And let's see if I still have this chart pulled up. Let me check Austria out real quick. I'm going to scroll down. Corners 4. That's what I'm looking for. Let's see where Austria ranks on this totem pole. Probably somewhere in the top 10. Yeah, Serbia is officially after today the #1 corner 4 team. So shout out to them for hitting that for us today. I was very sweaty after the first 30 minutes of that game for sure. Austria actually number 35 on this list. Wow, they only average 4.11 corners a match. That is wow. That is interesting. Israel all the way down to 39, 2.56. This is kind of a dicey play because both these teams suck at corners. So I'm going to check out corners against. Faroe Islands only concede 4.78. And Israel, I'm hoping, is at the very bottom of this list. And they are right here at 27, 5.33. Yeah, so I'm definitely going to make a play on this. I don't know if this line is going to stay like this. I would doubt it. So I'm going to actually make this a play. I'm going to copy this star, and we're going to play this for 1 unit. Faroe Islands plus 3.5 corners minus 122. And as far as the over on this game, I kind of want to talk to Casper first and see what he thinks. I'm not really sure how I feel about this. I definitely like Israel to score in the first half, but it's going to have to be a parlay piece. So that's what I'll make a note of on this draft right here. I don't really like this. I don't love this spread. I mean, it's probably gonna be a half win. And that's kind of how I feel about the over 2.75 as well. Now it's at 3. I don't really want to play it at 3 because then you're going to have to bank on Faroe Islands scoring in this matchup. Parlay piece, Israel first half team total. And while I have this pulled up right here, let's actually check out the goals for this. On the road, they have conceded in every single first half. And yeah, they're much better first half team at home. Not surprising. Too bad they're on the road tomorrow. And Israel at home, boom, scored in 3 out of 4 first halves. They absolutely sauced Austria that one game. On the road, even on the road, they scored in every game except for 2. Yeah. I just don't really know how to play this game because this game doesn't really matter at all. So I'm probably gonna have to wait. Definitely going to take this corner prop. If I'm gonna add units, it's gonna be on the card. I'll update it at the very end. Now let's keep moving here. Next, we are going to Scotland versus Denmark. And let's pull it up here. And let's see what I have written down for this game. So this is a very interesting game because Scotland does need to take a point out of this game. They definitely need to take a point out of this game. Denmark, I'm not really sure what kind of lineup they're going to roll with tomorrow. This game does not matter for them at all because they have absolutely dominated every single team they played. You go to the standings here, they have won every single game. They scored 30 goals, conceded 1. Scotland, actually the number 8 team. Scotland has been playing very well. And actually that last game, we had their first half team total. I mean, look at their form right now. I mean, that is very, very, very impressive. That's 5 wins on the last 5 games. I mean, but Denmark 6 in a row and 9 of their last 10. But what I like for this is I love Denmark first half overs. I really love it. And I got to watch Scotland's last match. They actually scored 2 minutes in the game. VAR canceled it. They did end up scoring again like the 40th minute. And we hit that parlay. Denmark has scored in 80% of first half. Scotland has scored in 60%. But where it gets a little dicey here is the clean sheets. Denmark has kept a clean sheet in 90% of first halves on the road. You can see here, that's full time right here. Scotland's conceding 0.9 goals at home. Denmark 0.5 on the road. And so this one I'm going to go back to AI score here. And Denmark. Okay, so I did have Israel pulled up here the entire time. All right. On the right side here, this is what I'm looking for. Scotland. Change the leak filter. And we do the same for Denmark. All right. So as you can see, they had two scoreless first half, and one was against Faroe Islands, one was against Austria. For Denmark, they also had a scoreless first half against Austria, twice actually, and one against the Faroe Islands. So that's another reason I did see that earlier, and that's kind of another reason I'm kind of skeptical on that Israel first half team total play. But I will say this game right here, I remember this game. I don't know how Denmark didn't score in the first half. They actually did, and it got called off. I remember this game because I hit this live. I didn't have action on it at first. I hit it live, and I was pissed because VAR canceled the goal. Then Denmark scored at the very end of the game, like the 92nd minute. It was nuts. So, but what I'm going to do here is I'm going to change the filter to home and away. Denmark 2 scoreless first halves out of 3. Oof. That's tough. And Scotland 1 scoreless first half. And head-to-head here, I do like the head-to-head numbers on this game. They did just play, I think it was probably the first game of this round. Denmark won the first half, 2-0. But Scotland has scored in the 2 first half prior to that, which don't matter because one was 2011, one was 2016. Now I'm going to pull this up on SofaScore, see if we can get a look here. Go to matches. Less than 4.5 cards is hit in 8 of the last 10 for both teams. Yeah, this is interesting. Denmark has scored in first in 10 straight games, but Scotland has scored first in 4 of the last 5. And very similar to the Serbia game, Serbia-Portugal game today. Very, very similar stats to that. And Portugal actually scored first, and then Serbia responded right after. Scotland is going to have to go balls to the wall tomorrow. They have to get this. They have to get a point. They need that second place placement. They really need it. I expect them to be very aggressive tomorrow, and that's why I'm okay taking this first half over 0.75. And let me find the game real quick because this is one of the few games where I know how they're going to come out. They're going to have to come out very, very aggressive, just like they did last game where I said they scored the second minute and it got reversed. Very surprising to see these lines at these prices. Denmark first half draw no bet minus 155. Draw no bet full game minus 165. That leads me to believe that I have absolutely no idea what kind of lineup they're going to toss up there, which makes me like this first half total better. This is a game I definitely would like to see lineups for. Anytime you see a Denmark team total over 1.5 at plus 150, that is kind of nuts. I'm going to be honest. You don't ever see that. So yeah, Vegas kind of thinking like I'm thinking here. And let's go up. Let's see if we can find an edge here. 12.2 corners. The league average is 9.14. Their card average is way under. But this game could get very dicey coming down late. Scotland definitely could get some cards if they're not careful. So I definitely will not be taking it under on a card prop in this game. And in fact, let's see what it's at. Total bookings for Scotland. Ooh, it's at 1.5. Denmark only at 0.5. I did get burned trying to play Belgium, who is also first in their group. Over 0.5, it did not hit. So I'm going to lay off that one. But Scotland, I mean, look at these splits here. Let's see. At home, it's only hitting 2 out of 4. Yeah, not good enough edge for me to play here. But at home, like I said, 3 out of their 4 games right here. First half goal. On the road, 4 out of 5. I definitely think we're going to see a goal in the first half. I will definitely be playing this. I'm going to put it at 1 unit for now. We may add something. I'm not really loving any card or corner props for this. I think we're just going to keep it simple. 1 unit on that first half, over 0.75. And we'll see. I'll definitely be watching that game tomorrow. If Scotland's coming out hot and heavy, there's definitely value on goals in this game. It's at 2.25. If Scotland scores, I expect Denmark to respond absolutely. So we will see. That's an interesting look. Next up, we have Italy versus Northern Ireland. Like I said earlier, Italy and Switzerland tied for first. Italy has the advantage, but they do need to win this game because if Switzerland wins and Italy draws or loses, um, Switzerland wins the group. So my initial thought on this, Italy win in under 3.5. Northern Ireland, pretty good defense. And in fact, let's pull it up here. Let's see what the expected goals for these guys are. Bear with me for a second. I'm going to find it again. Oh, and it just turned midnight, so that's why I couldn't find it. Okay, cool. Here we go. You can see Italy in much better form here. Okay, and also right here, you can filter this by what stat you want to see. And this is actually, I have the first half overs pulled up on this side and both teams to score. So let's see what grades out the highest. Israel Faroe Islands grades out the highest tomorrow. The first half overs hit 84% combined. Yeah, that is. Whew. I know we already went over that game, but man, I might end up having to play that. Wow, not very good both teams to score numbers on any of these games tomorrow. I haven't really been loving both teams to score at all. I don't think I played a both teams score in all week, actually. All right, anyways, let's get into it. Expected goals for Northern Ireland, only conceding 1.33, but only scoring 1.09. Italy, of course, only giving up 0.88 expected goals, and they're conceding right at exactly that. Now, Northern Ireland is overachieving just a little bit here. They're only giving up half a goal at home, even though they're expecting 0.83. Very small sample size, so I'm really just looking at this blue column, which is overall. Let's keep moving here. Northern Ireland versus Lithuania. I did catch a bit of that game. Northern Ireland actually has been impressive to me. I know we're looking at this year, like they lost to Bulgaria, they lost to Switzerland. They have impressed me. I look at their home form here. This was a friendly against the U.S. men's national team. They lost that. Other than that, all the way dating back, let's see if I can. I don't know what date that was. A long time ago. But against Switzerland and Bulgaria at home, they drew. And as you can see here, when they were on the road, they did lose. And head-to-head, let's see. The only game they played was I don't think that's right. We'll find out in a second. All right. Anyhow, Italy's going to have to score in this game. I expect them to come out very hot and heavy. And I expect Northern Ireland to come out very defensive. And let's go to the standings here. Oops. Let me expand this. Hopefully you guys can see this. Yeah, this is not ideal for this stream, but we'll pull it up like this anyways. Find Italy somewhere in here. Here we go. All right, Italy outscoring opponents 13-2. Northern Ireland in third place, 6 goals and 7 against in 7 games. Yeah, I don't want to see that because this is probably going to be a very low scoring game. I think Italy is going to have trouble scoring in this one. So that's kind of why I wrote down, I lean the first half under 1.25, but I also lean Italy win and under 3.5. Going back here, let's see if I can find goals conceded. Northern Ireland has only conceded over 1.5 goals in 30% of matches, kept clean sheets in 50% at home. First half, 70% clean sheets. Italy only kept a clean sheet in 50% of first halves. Pretty interesting in my opinion there. And let's keep moving here. First half, over 0.5, 65% average. Second half, pretty much the exact same. Over 1.5 in the first half, 0% for Northern Ireland. Again, small sample size, so I'll pull it up on here and we'll look. I'll also look at the Nation Leagues game for these teams. Total corners, not very good for the overs. So not really looking at that. Northern Ireland conceding over 3.5 at 70% of matches. That is a good stat. Italy has scored 90% of matches, but Northern Ireland kept clean sheets in 50%. That is pretty interesting. Now, as far as cards go, over 3.5, hitting at 60%. I don't expect to see this at 3.5. It's probably honestly at 4.5, maybe 5.5. And this is a game that could get dicey if it's tied late. This is a game that I would definitely take over on cards for live. And let's check it out. Yep, it is at. It's a very crucial number here because numbers point to exactly 3. And right here we have 2.5 minus 225, and then 3.5 at plus 108. Interesting. Oh, and also, where's my guy? I may take a score prop in this game. I might. But Lottie, he's only plus 120. So probably not actually going to take that. But let's see what he is for first score. Plus 400. Yeah, probably not enough value on that, in my opinion. I kind of like. Actually, Tim sent this to me. Tim likes Italy to score in both halves. And that's really what I'm looking for here. So let's go look at these splits. See if this one will let me click on World Cup qualifiers like this. Yep, there we go. All right, so we're looking. No team has scored in both halves against Northern Ireland. None. Literally none. Italy scored 2 in the first half at home against them. And then actually, I want to see the expected goals for this game. So you can go back and look at previous matches. It will show you, wow, actually a pretty damn even game. 1.46 expected goals for Italy, 1.43 for Northern Ireland. I'm actually going to take a picture of this, send it to Tim. Oh, I do not like this first half, or I do not like both Italy to score in both halves. I do not like this play. I'm not going to play that. I think this could be a very tricky game for Italy. I think they could be in trouble in this matchup. I'm going to be completely honest. Anyways, just keep checking out here. The home splits for Northern Ireland. I mean, damn, look at this. 1 goal in 3 matches. Switzerland got shut up by them. Bulgaria got shut up by them. On the road, completely different story, but they're at home. Corners, wow, 11, 14, and 5. Switzerland, a very corner-heavy team, so it's kind of surprising to see. As far as cards go, we might have some value on these cards, but if I'm not mistaken, Italy's a pretty low-card team. Let's check it out. And let's look at their goals first. Yeah, so they scored on both halves, once, twice. And as far as corners go, yeah, this is pretty interesting. We got 10, 9, and 12 here. And let's see what happened when they played Northern Ireland. They got out-cornered 5-0 against Northern Ireland. Wow. But they were also winning 2-0 the entire game. So that's something else you have to focus on because this game is 0-0. They're definitely going to be pushing and get corners. Oh, we go here. It's at 8.5. I think that is very, very doable. That is not going to be minus 148 in the morning. I guarantee that. I don't like a corner spread on this, even though Northern Ireland did out-corner them 5-0 in the first matchup. Because, like I said, if this is low scoring, Italy is going to be pressing for that goal. I think this game is going to cause Italy some problems. I definitely do. And honestly, this 3.5 right here is very interesting. Let me see what the cards in the first half have done for these teams. Over 1.5 is hit in only 3 games. Was hit 2 out of 3 in Italy's road matches. The over 3.5. I'm definitely going to take a card prop in this game. I'm not going to take the score in both halves. I don't think that's the best look. I think there's good value on over 1.5 cards in the first half as well. I do like this actually, in fact. And let's see what happened when they played Italy last time. They had 2 cards. Italy had 0, but the game is also 2-0 the entire time. So I'm going to write this down for 1 unit. I may actually bump that down. 1 unit over 2.5 bookings plus 108. I think that's the best look for this game that I have seen so far, and that first half under 1.25. Now, Italy did score. I think I'm going to play that. Italy did score 2 goals in that first half against Northern Ireland that we saw earlier. Where's it at? There we go. But on the road here, you can see Italy has scored 1 goal on the road in these qualifier games. At home, completely different story. But that's what you have to pay attention to here. These teams are very, very different at home and on the road. And unfortunately for Italy tomorrow, Northern Ireland is the home team, and they are on the road. I think this game is probably going to go under. What's the total at? 2.75. I think that probably goes under. I'll take my chance, and I am going to play this first half under 1.25 because I think Italy might be able to score in the first half, but I don't think they're going to be able to score twice. So I'm going to add this for half a unit. I may end up taking first half under 2 as a parlay piece. But I actually don't want to double dip first half. So what we may do here, because we did see Italy score 2 in the first half last game and not score again after that, the under 3.5 minus 212, very good value on that. That will be my parlay piece that I'm going to save. Italy / NI under 3.5. And I'm going to cross both of these out. Italy and under 3.5. I don't think that's good enough value for me to play that. Italy and under 2.5. I think that's probably some good value. Where is the strike through? Am I going crazy? I have it zoomed in so much I can't even see it. I usually don't even use Google Docs. So anyways, I'll just put an X by it. All right, so we're going to sit that. Anyways, on to Austria versus Moldova. Austria, just a very confusing team, to be completely honest. I had a very good game last outing against Israel. They did concede twice. Moldova, not a very good team, really, whatsoever at all. As you can see here, they are literally the lowest graded team on the board tomorrow for home and away splits. First half over 0.5 is graded at 78%, and Austria is just too juiced in this game, in my opinion. They might win this game by 3, but I don't even think that's worth playing. Well, I'm just going to run through this game real quick because I don't really see anything on this. Cards, right at league average. Corners, a little bit below league average. Austria, very volatile on corners. Austria 2-0, 1-0, 2-0, 1-0, all head-to-head. 1.8 goals expected, 0.98 against. At home, they are scoring 2. And Moldova, just like you'd expect, under 1 expected goal, almost 2 expected goals against. Now, the thing that I do like about this is that you can see Moldova has conceded over 1.5 goals in all but 1 game. But on the flip side of that, Austria, not really in good form. So I don't think that's worth playing. And if you look at this, their team total over 1.5 is minus 550. There's a lot of value on this right here, in fact. Team total under 2.5. But I don't love it enough to play it because Moldova literally has nothing to play for tomorrow. And we've seen all these teams that don't have anything to play for just get absolutely curb stomped. We saw Gibraltar, Malta, Cyprus. All these good teams have just been saucing the bad teams. Exactly why I played Slovenia and Slovakia today. So I don't think it's worth playing. Austria, game doesn't really matter for them, but I'm just going to skip over that one. Now, I will say one thing. I do have a little piece I wrote down right here. Austria scoring both halves. I'm probably not going to play this. Let's take a look at it real quick. Austria, World Cup qualifiers. Let's see how many times they scored both halves. Once, twice, 3 times, barely. At home, 0 times. And for Moldova, they probably given up a lot. Yeah, the last 2 games, and given it up 3 times. Yeah, Austria barely squeaked that one in. So I don't love it, but I don't hate it either. So actually, let's see this. We go back to qualifiers. Moldova conceded every first half on the road except to the Faroe Islands, who don't really score. And even at home, same splits there. Austria, they're just a team that I don't really like playing right now. They're just not really consistent enough for me to really like them. They've only scored in one first half at home. They're probably going to score in the first half tomorrow, but I don't think the numbers are good enough to even play that parlay. I'm going to go ahead and scratch this one out. I do like this Switzerland first half team total, but we'll get into that next. Switzerland versus Bulgaria. And like I said earlier, Switzerland tied for first. They got to win this game. They have to win this game. And kind of similar to Italy, I think they actually do have a tough opponent tomorrow with Bulgaria here. And I do think both teams should score in this game. I do think so. Last meeting, it was 3-1 Switzerland at Bulgaria. Let's see here, 1.46 expected goals, 1.16. Bulgaria are hovering that 1 goal. If they can get 1 goal tomorrow, this is going to be an interesting game. But yeah, you can see Switzerland had 2 0-0 games against Italy and Northern Ireland. Smacked Northern Ireland at home, though, and blew out Lithuania, unsurprisingly. First half, they scored in 60%. Bulgaria has scored in 40%. They've scored or averaging 0.9 goals in the first half. That's actually pretty good. And conceding wise, Bulgaria's only given up half a goal on the road in the first half. The over 2.5 grades very low in this game, only at 45% combined. Both teams score at 55%. Corners for this game could be interesting. If Switzerland scores early, though, you're going to lose that most likely. So I don't think that's worth playing. Now, however, if Switzerland and Italy both win, Switzerland is going to need to put up a lot of goals for the goal differential, if I'm not mistaken. They only have a medium chance to score statistically. Bulgaria keeping clean sheets in 20% of matches. And let's go to AI scorer here. Get this pulled up. Did I just not save some of these games or what? There we go. All right. Change the leak filter. There we go. Make sure I clicked the right one for this one. I did not. Okay, there we go. So let's see. Switzerland, they have scored in 4 of the last 5 first halves, and Bulgaria has conceded in 1, 2, 3 of their last 4. 0-0 against Northern Ireland, of course. They've only kept clean sheets in 2 first halves. Very, very interesting split for this. So let's switch it to home and away here. Switzerland should definitely score in the first half in this game, in my opinion. Now, will they score 2 goals? Probably. Do I love it? Not really. To score in both halves is probably a better look, definitely a better look than it is in Austria tomorrow. Peep these numbers on SofaScore real quick. There we go. Go to matches. Switzerland hasn't lost in 4 matches. Team streaks. Oh, that's actually a head-to-head streak. Both teams have scored plus 163 in this game. Ooh, that is juicy. I've actually never seen them put up lines like that on this website. Less than 2.5 goals in 4 of 5. More than 4.5 cards, which could be a good play for this game. Bulgaria hasn't kept a clean sheet in 4 games. Both teams scored 5 of 6, and corners not hitting at a very high rate. Let's pull it back up here. Actually, let me look at these cards and corners real quick. Over 3.5. Not hitting extremely high. Team corners, of course, Switzerland dominating here. Bulgaria's given up over 4.5 corners in 80% of their matches. That might be a good look for this game as well. So let's see here. Totals at 3.5. Like I just said, Bulgaria has been under 2.5. I believe it's at 4 out of 5. This total's at 3.5. But I do think both teams to score, and I could see Switzerland winning this game 3-1, just like they did the last time out. First half -1. I think if Bulgaria scores, it's a pretty good chance that it's going to be in the first half. And let's actually check the numbers on that. Ooh, does not look very good. It looks like they've actually scored most of their goals in the second half. And on the road, only scored twice. And let's pull it up here. Switzerland, wow, they scored 3 goals against Bulgaria in the first half. Very, very quick. And yeah, Switzerland scoring a very large portion of their goals in the first half. But I mean, these splits aren't very impressive either, though. It is a little bit scary. And definitely going to just be a parlay piece for me. We'll eat some juice and parlay it with something. Total corners, I'd be looking at a corner spread on this game. Nothing worth playing. -4.5. No way I'm going to play that. Don't even have a team corner look yet. First half over 4.5 corners. Let's see what the numbers on that are. If I could figure out where I left it. All right, we'll go to corners here. Overall, over 4.5. Let's actually just pull this up. Yeah, I mean, numbers aren't extremely good at home. I don't think this is going to be a spot I would want to take. First half over 4.5 corners. Definitely not actually. Look at all these corners they conceded against Italy. 10 corners all in the second half. We conceded 11 to Northern Ireland in the second half. That is crazy. As far as cards, I don't even have a card prop line for this out yet. I'm not even going to look at it. However, Switzerland to take the first corner. And also, Switzerland scored both halves. Definitely not worth a -190 price. I'd actually say this +155 has some value, but I'm definitely not going to play that. So let's see here. Switzerland to take the first corner. 1-2, 2-1. Lost to Northern Ireland. 2-2. Lost twice to Northern Ireland. Gave one up quick to Lithuania. Let's check these splits at home. 2-1 and oh shit, I'm on Northern Ireland. I need to get some of these games out of the way. All right, let's check Bulgaria first. Actually, forgive me, scratch that. All right, so let's check Switzerland to get the first corner. Bulgaria conceded first, got one first. Yeah, Bulgaria's conceding the first corner fairly often. Nations League. I'm not going to look too heavily into Nations League. This is kind of a shot in the dark, but it's probably going to hit. I mean, yeah, that's pretty damn good look right here. Look, I mean, Switzerland just getting first quarter in seemingly every game except against Italy, which is not very surprising. So I think that's pretty damn good parlay piece, but -450, probably not worth the juice on that. I kind of like this first half under 4.5 corners, but I'm not going to play it because Switzerland is going to have to go balls to the wall tomorrow. They don't get one quick. They're going to be banging all over the net. However, I do like them to score in the score in the first half -340 or first corner -450. And I don't think they're going to concede the first corner. I definitely don't think so. Unless they go out and they just score right off the bat. That's very interesting. I'm very curious to see how Bulgaria comes out tomorrow. If they're just going to come out in a completely defensive front or what the hell their plan is going to be. Let's see if we can find this. Yeah, this is tough. This is going to be a tough game. This is a tricky. These lines are very, very tricky on this game, and tomorrow's Monday, so I'm going to be very cautious on totals. I lean the under first half and the full game under this as well. Um, I mean, yeah. So I'll leave these parlay legs out, and I guess I'll just highlight all the parlay pieces. Yeah, I wrote down Switzerland first half -1. I don't love it. I think there's a very good chance that probably is going to push. So yeah, I'm not really loving anything for this game. I'll be honest. Israel first half team total. All right, so right now we have 1, 2, 4 potential parlay pieces, and I do have one for Poland, which we will get into next. There is something for Poland tomorrow. It's like, let me pull up the standings here real quick. Poland is in second place somewhere. So many groups I can't even keep up. Yeah, here we go. They're already advancing. They really don't have a shot unless England's playing San Marino tomorrow. There's absolutely no chance Poland can pass them. Even if they lose, the goal differential is just too wide of a margin. But they would have, I believe, if they score a certain number of goals. Actually, let's go to we'll just go to the flash score preview for this game because that's where I read this. All right, let's expand this. We'll zoom in. I really like these hot streaks. Team scoring first hasn't lost in 35 straight involving Poland. That is very, very impressive. Let's see here. All right. They can still bask in qualifying campaign. Third best. Yeah. Okay. It'll be their third best World Cup qualifier ever in terms of wins. Yeah. That literally does not matter at all. So scratch that. Let's go check out this game. I do lean the over 2.25 in this game. Both these teams just coming off dominant wins against really shitty teams. San Marino is trash. Hungary thumped them. And Doria, pretty freaking bad too. Actually, Andorra scored 8 goals. Andorra scored against Poland with a red card. Andorra got a red card 2 minutes into the game. That was actually my biggest play of the day. Was Poland minus 2.5 or 2.75. I believe they won like 4. Yeah, 4-1 says right there. Anyways, let's get into this Poland. Actually, wow. Only 0.92 expected goals against. They're conceding 1.2. So they are actually underperforming on defense and overperforming on offense, probably because Lewandowski is just a beast, to be honest. This Hungary-Poland game was actually crazy the last time out. Hungary got a red card right after the 90-minute mark. Poland came back and drew the game. First half, 50% each team has scored and conceded. Hungary, 90% clean sheets in the first half. Wow. On the road. That is a stat I was not aware of. Let's pull this league filter up real quick. And for Poland, let's see what we got. They have scored in, those are 2 really bad teams, 0-0 versus Albania, 0-0 versus England. But they are at home. Let's flip this to home. They scored in 3 out of 4 at home in the first half. The one they didn't was against England, unsurprisingly. And Hungary conceded 1 to England, but that's it on the road, which honestly, this group is not, very strong or anything. So it doesn't really mean a whole lot to me. See what else we can find. Yeah, Hungary was up 1-0 against Poland in the first half of that game. And I actually want to pull up the last head-to-head meeting. Let's see the expected goals were in this game. .22, 1.28, very even. Both of them somehow got 3 goals. Only 6 corners in this game, 7 cards, 20 shots. Wow. Okay. Interesting. And who scored the goals? Lewandowski, of course, got the tying goal. And let's just pull this up on here. Let's see if we can find an edge or an angle anywhere in this matchup. Going to go to the corners first. Poland outcornering the hell out of pretty much everybody, it looks like. But again, not really tough competition. On the road, let's see. Corners were 3-3 against Hungary last outing. Yeah, I don't really know what to think about that. I think there's a decent look on the card prop, but this game doesn't really matter that much. Besides some bad blood between these guys, I don't really know if they're going to come out, really trying to foul each other. I don't know if I'd actually want to bet on that in this matchup, but I mean, some good numbers on this. Over 3, well, they only had 3 against England, only 1 against San Marino, which isn't surprising. You'll see all these bad teams like San Marino, Gibraltar, Andorra, Moldova, teams like that. The cards are like 1-0 because they're just getting blown out. But all these other games, we'll go here, all these under were around 5 or 6. All these were pretty close games, except for these right here. So I do think the card prop for this game is probably going to be very juiced, but could be a good play. Go to Poland. I have been taking Poland games card props all around. 7-7-2-2. Yeah, Albania is also a team that I like to take card props for. Yeah, I think it's very likely we see cards in this game. The over 2, I think Poland should win this game. But at -160, I don't know if it's worth it. I really don't. I don't think they're going to be able to keep a clean sheet. I actually like both teams to score this game, to be completely honest. I might flip my pick here. I'm kind of liking both teams to score plus 108. Let's just keep scrolling down and see what else we got. Corners, very volatile. Definitely don't want to look there. Over 4.5 bookings is that's going to be a must play. And I texted Tim one first half over on cards. I think it was this game. Let me check real quick. Yeah, this was actually plus 130 when I texted him. Yeah, so I might double tip this actually. I'm probably going to take both of these. Maybe I'll buy this one down and use it as a leg. Yeah, I'm not sure. Let's dive into it a little bit more here. Poland at home. 2-2 for the first half over 1.5 cards. On the road, 1, 2, 3, 4-1. And for Hungary, let's see what we got. On the road, 3-1. And missed versus Albania, which is actually kind of surprising. And yeah, I mean, I think this is a fantastic look. But again, it's a game that doesn't really matter so much. So it's kind of like how hard are they going to come out? So let's see. Nations League last game against Turkey, they did get 5 all in the second half. I honestly don't know what's safer, if first half or full game is safer, right? I think if first half hits, the full game is definitely going to hit. But if first half doesn't hit, the full game would still be alive. Absolutely. This is a tricky one. And go back down. Check out the Nations League for Poland. Yeah, 3 cards in this one against the Netherlands in the last game. I like this first half over 1.5 cards. I definitely do. I think that's a good look. Let me go here. I'm going to take the star off of this one. I'm going to put an X by it. I don't love it. I don't love Lewandowski anytimer at that price. I think he's probably going to score, but I don't really like it at that price. First half over 1.5 cards is now -120. Or plus 120, excuse me. I do like that. I think that is a pretty damn good look. I know Tim likes over 2.25 in this game. Let me look at both teams to score real quick. Let me pull this up on SofaScore. Both teams without a clean sheet. They both scored in 3 head-to-head meetings. More than 2.5 goals in 5 opponents' last 7. Both teams scored 8 out of 10. Hungary less than 2.5 corners. And let's see, shutout San Marino, 1-1 against England, lost 1-0 to Albania. I actually remember that game. I watched that game. Poland is pretty leaky. I don't really expect Poland to keep a clean sheet against anybody except for San Marino. So I'm going to play that. That is going to be my play for this game. Let me check right here real quick. One last look before I lock this in. Am I going crazy? I can't even find it. Both teams have scored. It's only graded at 60%, league average 43. 80% overall, 40% for Hungary. I think this is a pretty good look. I really do. Hungary scoring exactly 1, Poland 2.8. If the over 2 is a better price, I would rather play that. But at plus money, I think this is a pretty damn good look, I'll be honest. However, like I said, first half clean sheets, very interesting. So what will be scary is if this game is 0-0 at halftime, because I think it's going to be tough for both teams to score in the second half. I think Poland definitely is a better look to score in the second half here. Let's check it out. They're scoring 1.6 in the second half, 1.2 in the first half. Damn. This is tough, but these numbers are so skewed because they're playing teams like San Marino and Albania, and Hungary is a better team than really how they have been playing, in my opinion. Oof. First team, both teams scored first half, 30% for Poland. Both teams scored second half, 50% for Poland. I'm going to take one look on AI score for this, and I'm actually going to take the league filters off, except for friendlies. I don't care about the friendlies. I'm going to go back to 30 games, and we will do it on the road. Okay, so it's 3-2. Unsurprisingly, okay, 0-0 against Russia, 1-0 against Serbia in Nations League. Woo. Yeah. This is more of a play just based on expected goals and not really thinking that I think there's a lot of bad blood between these teams, and I don't think that either teams are really too concerned about keeping clean sheets in this game. I don't know. I don't think I'm going to lock anything in for this other than this card prop at half a unit. I think both teams to score is a damn good look. I think Poland, the more I look at this, the more I do like Poland to win. And I do like this over, but I think Poland could score twice. But we're literally relying on a first half goal, regardless of whether we take the over 2.25 or both teams to score, in my opinion. So this is a game that if I double dip it, it's probably going to lose at both plays. I don't know. This is a very tricky game. What I'm probably going to do here is buy down to the over 2. Only minus 165. Let's take this off. Over 2, minus 165. And 50 units England minus 20,000. Yeah, absolutely not touching this game. However, England might start some younger guys that have been really itching to get a chance to play. They beat San Marino 5-0 and 6-0 like every single time they played each other. But that's a game I probably only hit live and pray England doesn't score for the first 15 minutes. Let's go to Albania real quick. Besides cards, you can see 5.3 average on cards for this game. See what happened last time they played. 7 cards. I mean, Albania just gets a ridiculous amount of cards. It's actually kind of concerning how violent they are. 7, 5, 5, 7, 6 for, well, these are all for Andorra. This game doesn't matter at all. It really doesn't matter at all. I don't think there's any reason to take any action on this game, and I don't even have card props for it. So I'm going to completely sit this game. Let's get back to it. Let's see what we got cooked up. So we got U21 Finland, U21 team. Let's see if that way it doesn't look like I'm saying under 21. And we're going to copy and paste these at the bottom and see what we got. And we'll cook up some parlays. Mix and match here. Faroe Islands plus 3.5 corners. I do like that play. Tomorrow's Monday. There's better games, games that actually really matter on Tuesday. And so I don't really feel like I should be slamming anything for this game. Or for this slate, I should say. All right. Just keep it going here. Scotland, Denmark, first half over 0.75. I'm tempted to play that at 2 units because I think there's a pretty good chance that's unless Scotland scores first, it's probably going to only be a half win. I'm tempted to play that, but I really want to see the lineups first. And we'll go Italy, Northern Ireland, 1.5 units risk on this game. Over 3.5 bookings. And let me make sure I write down the game. Italy match. And you know what? It's completely pointless to play this at half a unit because they get 1 unit. We're going to be plus 0.25 units. So I'm going to leave this with the start, actually, because we may end up scratching that and just taking a parlay piece. Italy unders just do kind of scare me, though. Even though the numbers are completely there for this game, it does scare me. And where the hell did my other ones go? Didn't I have more than one here? Israel, no, that's it so far. Okay. No action on Austria, Moldova, Switzerland, first half team total, and corners. I think both of these are probably going to hit. I'm going to take the Orov. I think Switzerland first corner is a slam dunk. It's very juiced. And there's literally really like, besides the fact that it's hitting like 10 of their last 11 and Bulgaria has conceded the first corner in almost all the matches, and this is a very important game for Switzerland. There's really like there's really like no way you can cap this, right? I mean, it's kind of luck, but at the same time, I mean, I don't know. Interesting look there. I think it definitely should hit though. And then let's see what we got here. Poland, Hungary. Poland/Hungary. Which have over 1.5 cards. And then this game over 2 minus 165. All right, so this is what we're working with. So right now I got 5 units risk, right? Let's see here. I almost just really want to play Poland, both teams to score because it's plus money. But I don't want to play for 1 unit and then have 1 unit on this parlay as well. Let's see what our prices are. See what we can get these at. Scotland over 1.5 cards against Denmark. Oh, I did say that, didn't I? I'm going to make a note of that. I'll have to go back and check that. I'm going to highlight this in green so I see it. Okay, so we'll go back and check that one. Take that off for now. And already the over 3.5 cards is moving fairly quickly for Italy. Did I not write that one down either? Interesting. All right, we're going to skip that one as well. All right, so we got the under 3.5 here. Switzerland first half team total and Israel first half team total. And I honestly, I'm probably going to, let's see what the price difference is, but I think it's probably going to be better. Actually, this parlay how it is right now is pretty juicy. Because these are actually this is probably the way I should play this. Because Israel is the one I'm kind of concerned about. Faroe Islands have kept clean sheets against good sides in the first half, as we saw earlier. This parlay would be plus 208. And we're going to clear that. Go back to Switzerland. Switzerland first corner. And there's also good value on first team to score as well tomorrow. All right, let's see what we got. First half total minus 310. Let's see what the price difference would be. Parlay minus 127. Minus 162. I may leave that and add a leg to this. Let me pull up the Scotland cards real quick. Scotland over 1.5 cards, 3-1 the last 4 matches. Did not hit either match against Moldova. No card timing for this Denmark match. That is actually kind of strange. Let's click on it. Let's see if it'll show us here. 0 cards in this game. Yeah, I don't think that's really a great look. Go back, check out Italy. Yeah, this is where I'm actually going to go, and I'm going to play Poland cards. And this is where I said the over 3.5 is minus 170 on this card prop, but it definitely should hit. Over 3.5 bookings. Boom. Now we're at a plus 156 parlay. And I don't remember what the odds were. 156. And that is actually with this Israel Faroe Islands first half over, which is actually the highest graded over of the entire day for the first half. But let's see what it would be if we took Israel team total like I originally had written down here. Israel minus 1,800 to score. Geez. Faroe Islands first half team total over 0.5 plus 300. I might take some swings. or half unit on some of these underdog team totals. I mean, these games do not matter. I mean, we saw Faroe Island score on Denmark last game. Very, very, very interesting. All right, where is it at? There we go. Plus 182. Yeah, in my opinion, I'd rather just take the goals in this one. Plus 156. I think it's a very solid parlay. One unit. Get the highlighter off of this. And let me fix this. And this is where I have to decide what I'm going to do about this game right here. I'm going to play Italy first half under 1.25 for 1 unit. You know what I'm going to do? I'm not going to do that. Instead of playing these at half a unit, I'm actually going to parlay these because I don't want to double dip too much. Where if I lose one, I'm going to end up losing 2 units. I don't want to do that. I really like the value on this play. Let's see what a half unit parlay on this would be. And I may have to buy Italy actually to 1.5. So I don't like taking Asian totals and parlays. I think it's kind of silly. Let's peep it. Let's check it out. First half under 1.5 minus 183. Poland, Hungary, first half. Over 1.5 bookings. Plus 240. Boom. We have a beautiful half unit parlay here. And I think that's the way to play it. That way we're not, dipping our toe too much in this. So if it loses, it's only half a unit together instead of 1 unit apiece. I think that's the best way to play this. And let me go back and check this out. It's both teams to score, man. I know that price is not going to be that pretty in the morning. And the reason I did like Scotland over 1.5 cards, I do remember now, is because of how crucial this game is for them. I may run this at half a unit too. Let's see. I just don't think it's worth throwing a unit on both of those. Tomorrow's Monday. There's no reason to just completely slam all these games. Plus 289. I'll run that at half a unit as well. Oops. Scotland over 1.5 bookings. And Poland. There's Hungary. Both teams to score. I think these are some good looks here. But yeah, I mean, that's pretty much how I cap most of these games. I think it's really crucial to have different ways to look at different things. Exactly why I showed you guys I use FlashScore. Usually, I usually do this on my phone. I think FlashScore and AI Score and SofaScore are all easier to look at on the phone. But like I like pulling this up, and I like being able to go to head to head. See all these stats, being able to flip it home and away. And AI score is fantastic for first halves and corners. Like we'll go. Let me click on this Poland Hungary game last time they played. Only 6 corners in this game, but you can see on this flow chart exactly where the cards were, exactly where the corners were. It's fantastic for live betting. And one thing I also failed to mention was that, okay, so this is Albania, Andorra. Going down here, you can see exactly, this is when Andorra scores and concedes most of their goals. I really like this. And you see how many cards in the first half. And damn, I might kick myself for not playing cards in that Andorra game and just skipping over it because it's probably going to hit. But yeah, so this is what we got. November 15th. U21 qualifiers. And then we got World Cup qualifiers. And bang, there we go. So we got 3 trade plays. Italy over 3.5 cards. Scotland, Denmark, first half over 0.75. Favorite islands plus 3.5 corners. And then we got a couple different parlays we're rolling with here. And I think these are some very, very good looks. I really do. I think there's a lot of value on this slate tomorrow. But I think we're playing this correctly. I don't think we're double dipping, but I'm double dipping in how I feel this is the safest way possible. And so just going back through the draft that I originally had, this is why I do drafts. Like as you can see, Israel first half team total is not as safe as I originally thought it was. Neither are these 2 plays. I still do like the over in that game though. And you can see what I did for Italy. I don't like Italy scoring both halves at all. I don't like Italy under 3.5. I think Austria, I don't really know what's going to happen in that game. I think Switzerland is too juiced tomorrow. I think you have to parlay Switzerland. I think there's a lot of value on this Poland-Hungary game, but it could also end up being a 0-0 snooze fest. So this is it, guys. This is what we're rolling with. And yeah, if anybody actually stayed up, watched this, I have not looked at any comments. James, thank you for tuning in, my friend. I'm on 2 monitors. Let's see if I can move this over. There we go. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Appreciate it. And any questions, just send me a message. And let's catch this slate tomorrow.